Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. Hey Dan, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing well, doing well. We're right in the middle, right in the heat of one of the most important decisions right now for the Colts. Who's going to be their head coach?
We've gone back and forth privately about this, and fans go back and forth on it. So we've made our lists. Who we want as the head coach. We've made three each, and before you guys hear our three, I want you guys to comment and give us your three and why number one is number one. So Dan, who's number three on your list?
Well, first of all, I just want to eliminate Sean Payton. Maybe in a perfect world, I would choose him, but I just don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's a spot where he'll want to go, and I don't think the Colts are going to give it up. So we're just going to throw that out. I'm going to say our number three, my third would be DeMarco Ryans, the defensive coordinator out for the San Francisco 49ers. Mm-hmm. This guy has been doing lights out with that defense. I know it's not the most sought after thing when you think about the Colts needing a quarterback, but that doesn't mean he can't go out and get a good offensive coordinator. And he just knows how to structure and put together a defense. I think our defense is good, but it needs a lot more those splash plays, those big turnovers, those big sacks. And DeMarco Ryans, I think, would be a great choice.
Yeah, DeMeco Ryans, by the way. But
thank you, DeMeco Ryans. Yeah,
that's right.
You know me, man. I'm going to get like part of the name right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. They make fun of him in the chat. My number three is Bubba Ventrone, the Colts special teams coordinator. Hey, he's a good coordinator. The Colts special teams unit, even with Sanchez being hurt this year, they were decent actually. And he doesn't always get the best. He kind of gets the short end of the stick personnel-wise. He was handed a bad kicker situation, and they made the best of it this year. And we seen on Hard Knocks actually last season. He's just a good schematic guy, and the Colts seem to like him enough they have actually interviewed the guy to be the head coach. We've seen John Harbaugh, a special teams guy with lots of special team experience, be a successful head coach. So it's been done before. And maybe Bubba is the future of the Colts. I don't know.
Hey, look, you can make fun of me for mispronouncing a name, but at least you're not going to make fun of me for a stupid choice like that. But anyways,
right. Well, okay.
I'll move on. I'll let the comments handle that choice right there. Number two for me this would be great. Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I know the big knock on him. He doesn't call the plays. Andy Reid does everything. But he's been sitting there for so long, learning from Andy Reid, watching Mahomes, saw the development of Mahomes. The Colts are going to get a quarterback. They're going to need to develop him. Eric Bieniemy might be the exact person that they need. He might not be the perfect schemes guy. We don't know much about that, but he might know all the ins and outs on how to develop a quarterback. And so number two, I'm going Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, no, not at all. He, in my opinion, Eric he hasn't proven anything. He's been handed Patrick Mahomes. That's like having Peyton Manning as your quarterback. Have you really done anything as an offensive coordinator if you had Peyton Manning? Just like the Adam Gase. We've seen what happened with him after Peyton Manning when he worked with him in Denver. Number two for me is Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. He's a young guy, not a whole lot of NFL experience, offensive coordinating experience, I should say. But I think that you have to be quick with some of these revolutionary guys before they do too much. He's had Jared Goff as his quarterback, and you've seen kind of some of the success the Lions have had this year. I think that if you're going to get a young quarterback, the best thing you can do is pair him up with a successful, like you're trying to do with Eric. I don't agree with who you picked, but I do agree that pairing a young quarterback with an offensive-minded head coach is always the best thing you can do. So every season, the guy's not changing an offensive coordinator if he's having success. I'm going Ben Johnson there, the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator.
I can respect that. There's nothing I would argue with that. I think that's a good choice. But it's not nearly as good as my number one, okay? Number three, number two, hey, those are good choices, and I wouldn't be disappointed. But this is the guy, Colts Nation. This is who we need. And we just saw it over the weekend. But it's the offensive coordinator for the Giants. It's Mike Kafka. Did I say that right? Did I pronounce that right? Kafka. Okay. Getting close to that. I'll learn it as he becomes our head coach. I'll learn how to say his name. But this is the guy that we need. Not only was he with the Chiefs for a few years, but now he's been an offense coordinator. And you see what he's doing with Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones was almost written off as a bust. And now Daniel Jones just put up one of the best playoff, stat lines we've seen. 300 yards, I think 75 yards rushing. The guy was playing flawless. He's developed that offense in the Giants as a really good offense. And like you said earlier, you got to jump on these guys early. You got to get them into the system. And I think he's the top guy. And I think the Colts will be hitting a home run if they bring him in.
I know you talked about that's not a bad choice, but that's not the number one choice. For me, I look at the list of head coaching possible candidates out there. I know Sean Payton you threw it out there, and he would be expensive to trade for. First round pick is what I was reading. I don't know how true that is. For me, whether or not he wants to leave Michigan, it's Jim Harbaugh. You gotta. At the end of the day, the Colts need somebody who's going to hold that locker room accountable, and they need a guy who's proven to win football games. And Jim Harbaugh, love him or hate him, you could call him old school, you could call him a jerk, you could say all this stuff about him, and it might be right. But at the end of the day, the guy wins games, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You get your young quarterback, you pair Harbaugh with another, maybe he gets a young offensive coordinator, and all of a sudden you're in great shape in Indianapolis because you got your head coach. The guy knows the Colts. The guy has proven he could build up programs. He built up Michigan. He took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. He's won in the NFL level. He's taken the college team from the pits to success, to as probably as successful as Michigan can get. So now he's going to do it with the Colts, but this time he's going to win the big game.
I hate it, man. That's awful. There's nothing about Harbaugh that I would want any part of that. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He's 0-5 in the last bowl games. He's never developed a quarterback. He's got nothing other than, I will give you, he might bring some toughness and stability and fire up, but he can't take this Colts team where it needs to go. He's a better fit somewhere else. And what we're hearing is some reports he's staying in Michigan, but that could just be some leverage. That could be some negotiation tactics. But he is not fit for the Colts. Sorry. Don't want to burst your bubble. We ain't going backwards.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You do. Adam Schefter reported that he told the Broncos he's staying in Michigan, but I didn't see the Colts in there. That's all I got to say. So, guys, let us know what you think. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know who are your top 3 head coaching candidates and why. We'll be sifting through the comments, and you'll hear back from us again this week. Thanks again for watching the Common Colt Podcast, and have a great day.